And welcome back. Let's just take a look at our question of the day this morning. And we're asking you, are you comfortable that your employer has put enough measures in place to mitigate the spread of the coronavirus should you need to return to work during level 4 of the nationwide lockdown? And you can send us those responses via Twitter or Facebook at Morning Live SABC, or we'll take some calls later on in the show, 011-714-5861.
All right, looking forward to those responses from you this morning. But right now, let's go into the stories of the day. So here are the latest figures for you once again. These are the numbers released last night. The number of confirmed COVID-19 cases, 6,783. The number of deaths is at 131. There has also been 2,549 recoveries, which brings the total number of active cases to 4,103.
Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Tourism will today get a briefing from the Minister of Tourism on the impact of COVID-19 on tourism industry and mitigating measures initiated by the department.
And those are the numbers that you need at this time for coronavirus. A 24-hour hotline, 0800 029 999, and the WhatsApp number is 0600 123 456. You can send a message, hi, and then you will get your response back.
Right, just a breakdown of the national statistics now, starting with the Western Cape, and this is as at the 3rd of May 2020 last night. 3,044 positive cases in the Western Cape. Gauteng standing at 1,624, 1,076 in KwaZulu-Natal, the Eastern Cape's at 774, Free State 122, Mpumalanga 46, Limpopo 37, Northwest Province 36, and 24 cases in the Northern Cape.
All right, so look at that in number, the impressive number of tests that are being conducted. We're sitting at 245,747 tests. So we really have ramped that up. I mean, yesterday was a massive amount of testing done. I think it was somewhere around 13,000. Those were the amount of tests where the results came through on that one. Positive cases, we're sitting with 6,783. That's the total positive cases. Of that, 2,549 people have recovered. 131 have unfortunately lost their lives. That's 131. And at the moment, 4,103 active cases. Just in terms of the global picture, we've got confirmed 3.5 million cases, recovered 1.1 million, and the deaths are sitting at 247,000 deaths right now.
Right, let's move on to our trending topics now. Hashtag COVID-19 South Africa, and quite a bit of talk around this, and people talking just about the spread of the pandemic overall, the effect that it's had on people's lives, Leanne, and of course, strange things happening on Twitter where people are now just inventing things. They have invented an accident that never happened. Yeah. And they started talking about it, and it was trending. And over the weekend, there was one hashtag RIP to her. Like, nobody knew who died, but everyone was talking about someone who was dying or died. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy out there.
I'm glad I wasn't reading that one. That's a crazy one, because that would have lost me straight. Most of these trends lose me, and that's why I'm like completely confused. And that's why when people say that they refuse to sleep at night because they want to know who invents these trends, well, yeah, okay. So you got to really sift through them to find out the truth. It's insane, including whether or not what's happening in Madagascar. Did they say that they've got some form of a cure?
A cure, yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay,
and,
cool.
And apparently our president was also sitting in on this, so they're sending some of this to some African nations.
No.
And it's interesting to hear, what exactly is going on there, what exactly do they have, and what is our response to that? Indeed. Are we interested or are we not interested?
Yeah, I got a friend who lives in Madagascar. I think I'm going to give her a call today. I'll find out what's going on there. I have no idea, but I did see that one doing the trends. Anyway, I think we've spoken to COVID-19 South Africa. That's all we speak about. So the numbers are there. Western Cape, let's talk to Western Cape, because it's quite scary when you look at the numbers in the Western Cape. I mean, of our total infections, 3,044 are in the Western Cape. Now, remember, remember, there are 6,783 cases, but also when we talk active cases, I think that's sitting at around that 4,000 mark, whatever it was that we read a bit earlier. I don't know it off by heart, but I mean, the Western Cape is the massive epicenter by a long mile. And, you know, some of those scenes that we were seeing on Friday, Sakina, our cameras were there. We were talking to people getting out onto the streets, walking, jogging, doing what they, you know, would like to do. But in the face of being a very, very dangerous epicenter, it was, it wasn't a nice scene, I must say. It really wasn't.
Yeah, it was rather shocking, and people were talking about this, but also talking to the response in terms of what happens on the Sea Point Promenade as opposed to what happens in, say, Khayelitsha.
Yeah.
So quite a bit, to talk about in the Western Cape, and the Twitterati was all over it.
Oh, indeed, they always are. So that's the Western Cape, the big trend there. And then, of course, the final trend is the National Command Council, and I think, you know, there's a lot. Obviously, this is the big decision maker, but I think it's the whole cigarette thing that's really gotten people talking to this. And from what I'm understanding is that President Cyril Ramaphosa has come under fire from some prominent lawyers, pro-cigarette lobby groups, and politicians over the legality of his COVID-19 NCC and its alleged overreach during the national lockdown. And that's the big one. There's a massive list of advocates and that are putting this together and saying that this is, it's not right, as well as British American Tobacco threatening legal action against Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs Minister Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma unless she reverses the NCC's decision not to allow the sale of cigarettes and other tobacco products by tomorrow. So, there's a lot to the story, and, the NCC at the center of it.
Quite a lot. And speaking to the senior council members who are actually embarking on this court action, we told letters and interviews by lawyers such as Advocate Vuyani Ngalwana SC, Nazir Kasim SC, Aaron Richards, as you said, British American Tobacco, Black First, Land First, also weighing in on this. And they are also, among other things, questioning the displacement of statutory and constitutional bodies by the National Command Center.
Yeah.
So British American Tobacco, I think they gave the minister until today to actually respond to this.
So
and it's going to be an interesting one because the politics come into it, of course, Leanne, whereby there has been a sentiment expressed that says that the turnabout by President Cyril Ramaphosa on the cigarette announcement shows that Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma is in fact running the show and not President Ramaphosa. So you can see the politics creeping into it. Slowly but surely, we're starting to hear more along those lines than just the pandemic.
Yeah.
So those are our trending topics this morning, and of course we want to hear from you. You're going back to work, we want to hear from you. How has it been? Seemed a bit busier on the roads this morning, and of course, more importantly, in terms of preparedness, do you think that your workplace is sufficiently prepared, as we ask? Thulas Nxesi, Minister of Employment, coming up on the show in the next half hour. So stay with us for all of that. But right now it's 6:30.